Let's see. Okay. I think I'm ready to go. Hey guys, nice to be here this Sunday evening for me. I just put my daughter to bed just before this. And let's have a good time. If you have any good questions, let me know. And I'll just start because I don't have anything better to do. So, can you hear me all right? Or should I do something with the audio? Okay, let's just start and see what happens. So, okay, start with the first question. Cameron Smith is asking, why is it so damn hard to find a case for my Solar 17 ETC? And it's because we haven't designed a case yet for any of the Solar guitars, but Washburn has cases for the Nuno guitars, and the Solar guitars are they fit into the Nuno cases in a tight fit. So check out some Nuno Betancourt Washburn cases and you'll be fine. Okay. Okay, next question is, and I can't find a V7 string with Evertune, and that's because there aren't any. It's not a model that we are doing. Okay, question. Okay. The Spine Splitter is asking, Ola, I have recently been having some issues with hearing. Can you recommend any ear protection other than earplugs for playing live? Well, I'm going to show you mine, but what I'm using are molded earplugs, and they have 3 different filters, so I can even go, I think, so they either remove 6 decibels of volume or 15. I haven't set to 15, but these are kind of disgusting because they have all my ear shit on them right now, but they're molded after my ears, and what's good about them is that they remove a flat set of frequencies, so it's not like regular earplugs, which usually just removes the either highs or lows, or they just sound awful. But these sound really good, and if I want to, I can make these fit any like in-ear earplugs if I'm gonna start using in-ears. But I like having a monitor blasting all the music on. So I'm using these molded earplugs, and they're amazing, and I use them all the time. Sound checks, when I'm checking out live shows, stuff like that. And I mean, I had a problem with tinnitus back a couple of years ago. I went to a show and my hearing was, I just blasted my ears from the speakers, and I just got a really annoying tinnitus sound that was going on for a couple of years. But since then I've been protecting my ears pretty good, and the tinnitus has declined, I would say. So yeah, I think molded earplugs is the way to go. Okay, good. Brett Fairchild, who is the Kanye West of guitar? Isn't that Lil Wayne? Or maybe that Jonas Brother guy. I don't know. Early William is asking, what is it like doing metal for a living? Well, it's not as much like the genre I'm doing for a living. I mean, I'm doing a lot of other stuff. I mean, it's actually kind of funny how little time I get to play guitar. I mean, there's just so much other stuff to do since I'm doing my own accounting and just taking care of all the feared stuff. I mean, the whole fear distribution is basically from this room right here, and it's I mean, everything that you're not seeing is probably like 80 or 90% of what I'm doing. So I'm doing a lot of boring stuff as well, but I'm definitely living the dream. I would say. I mean, I'm very happy to be able to go out and um, play in front of people, and try to share the little knowledge I have about social media, and go out on tour with the Haunted. And I mean, it's definitely awesome. I can't recommend it enough. But if you want to do this, I would recommend having like a backup plan of some sort before you take the leap of faith. And yeah, okay. Audio sounds good. And by the way, I think that the lag of the video is 10 seconds. So while I'm answering the questions, I'm seeing myself answering another question like 20 seconds ago. So it's kind of weird. I'm watching myself not live, which is kind of weird. Okay. All right. Where did we go? Henry Q or Henry Kiev is asking, will there be a Solar 7 with a Floyd Rose bridge? Solar V7. We don't have one planned, but I don't necessarily like to say no. So, I mean, maybe. I have no idea. We'll see what happens in the future, but not for 2016. I think we're gonna start plan for 2017 and after summer or something like that. We'll see what happens. Wojciech Smoother is asking, did you know that Ola is a female name in Poland? I actually didn't know that, as well as I knew that Ola is hi in Spanish, and yeah, I never heard that before. Okay. Taylor Bellamere is asking, what are your thoughts on Buckethead? And shit, hang on. Sorry, the questions just keep piling up. I'm kind of lost track. What are your thoughts on Buckethead? Well, to be honest, I don't really have any thoughts about him. It's I haven't really listened to him at all, so I can't really say. He has a bucket on his head, I know that, and I guess he plays really crazy guitar. But that's all I know about him. I probably heard a song or two, but it's nothing that I really put a lot of effort into listening to, so I can't really say anything. Sorry. Sawyer Smoak is asking, favorite overdrive for metal rhythm playing? And okay, let me think for a second. See if I can find something in my drawer here. I mean, this is a classic. This is an old TC electronic integrated preamplifier. It's an old Meshuggah secret that actually, I think it was Scott Ian of Anthrax that initially started using these. It's a really good overdrive. It's not an overdrive. It's an actual preamplifier, so you can add treble, bass, and volume. And just remove all the bass on this, and I keep the treble on 11 o'clock and volume on max. And the cool thing is that I actually modded this myself. As you can see, I added an extra battery socket like this. so I could use up to how many 9-volt batteries that I want. But I used 3 9-volt batteries, so 27 volts into this, and I mean, it's crazy. It's awesome, but they're pretty rare. So if you want to have a tip of something that's available right now, I would probably recommend like any Maxon. Here's a classic, the Maxon OD808. Basically like a tube screamer, because Maxon were making the original tube screamers for Ibanez back in the day. So I hope that answered your question, sir. Okay. Ludovic Art is asking, what's a typical day in the life of a YouTuber professional musician like? So, well, when I'm at home, like I am right now, when I'm not on tour, a regular weekday is me waking up. I set my alarm clock at 7 o'clock. I go wake up my son, because he's supposed to be woken up by his alarm clock, but he doesn't wake up, and I have to pull him out of bed. We eat breakfast, everyone together, my wife, my 2 kids, and then either my wife and I go to daycare and drop off the kids, and I go back here, and I just start my day either with writing music, or like I've been doing the past week, packing up field orders and sending out field stuff. But I mean, or starting making a video or something like that. It depends what I have in my schedule, basically, and I do that up until 4 o'clock. I go back to daycare, pick up my kids, and that's basically it for my work day. I don't really play or work that much after 4 o'clock. So I have a pretty good work ethic. Since I wasn't working as an accountant before I quit my job, I think I brought a lot of that working ethics into my musical business, professional life, I would say. So I have a good discipline with working. Okay, was that an answer? Coffee break, water break. Jeppe is asking, why did you decide to re-record songs from Rejects and Refeared? Well, the thing is that Feared has been, it's our 10-year anniversary this year, and you know, those first couple of songs that are on the 2 first albums, they're the first Feared songs, basically. Those are the songs that we wrote from 2006 till 2010 or something like that, and you know, those 2 albums are the only ones that don't have real drums. All the other albums have drums recorded by Kevin Talley. So, I mean, as a kind of like an anniversary thing, I decided to re-record everything. I chose what I thought would be like the best songs from those 2 albums, and we re-recorded everything. Kevin recorded drums, and I mean, I think that with the new production and real drums, I think the songs have a lot more to offer and say. So, yeah, that's why I did it, and you better like it. Cheers from Brazil, Ola. What's up? Eddie Tatum is asking, when are we gonna see more videos like Jam Up Bro? Maybe with Wes and Keith again. I don't know. I mean, it's the thing with both Keith, Wes, and I, and you know, Jeff Loomis and all those guys. I mean, everyone's just super busy, and we all have so much on our plate right now. I mean, it's hard to even like plan anything. But I mean, we'll probably make something happen soon. I don't know. We'll see. Beer Force One is asking, hey Ola, I'm receiving a Solar V ETC next week. Which case do you use to store them? I have a... Oh, I have one right here. It's like I was meant to get this question, but it's an SKB V case. Looks like this, something like that, and I mean, works well. But I don't really travel that much with these cases. Actually, when I'm out traveling and touring, I use the Scott Dixon cases. It looks like this, and I mean, this case right here takes 2 of my V guitars, so and they sit really well inside there, and they're called Scott Dixon, and they're based in the UK, and I totally recommend them if you're out playing a lot of shows and stuff like that. So yeah, all right. For Sugar is asking, hi Ola, in your opinion, is the actual speaker pushing air a thing that you miss when going through any digital devices? Is it too big of a difference? Thanks. Well, I mean, not really, because I mean, when I record guitars and reamp them, I don't crank the amp that much. I would say. I think a lot of people expect you to crank it really, really super loud to get those speakers moving, like really bouncing. But I mean, that's not something I really favor. I like it when it's just enough. So, but I definitely prefer recording a real cabinet than using like impulses and digital stuff like that. But I mean, the impulses, you can go a very long way with those. I mean, make totally professional sounding albums with them. So it's just a personal preference, I would say. Okay. Dalibor Stark is asking, when will Feared release some live DVD? I mean, it's we rarely play live. So when are we going to record a DVD? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Leonardo Mucci or Mutzi is asking, hi Ola, which frequencies do you cut when you record guitars? Well, basically, some kind of low pass filter that I use to just remove some of the high frequencies, as well as a high pass filter, probably set to, I don't know, that it starts working at maybe 80 hertz, something like that. And some frequencies that I usually work a lot with are around 250 hertz and 2500 hertz. And the 250 hertz is where a lot of the boominess of the guitar sound over a cabinet is. And there's a really good frequency if you want to balance bass, guitar, and guitars together. So if you remove some of the 250 on the guitars, you can push out some 250 onto the bass guitar instead. It really makes them feel a lot better together. And 2500 is just it's just a really ugly frequency that I usually just have a really small dip in the EQ. Also, something that I usually kind of tame is 4000 hertz as well. That's the really sharp, that really hurts your ears when you're listening to the guitars in mono or, I mean, soloed out. 4000 hertz is what really hurts your ears. So that's also something that I work a lot with. Okay, good talk. Hello, I'm building my setup. Which recommend? Petrucci, Signature, like me, some other, more cheap maybe. And holy shit. Damn it. Okay. Shit, I managed to push a link and I got someplace else. That's not YouTube. Well, I'm back, so where's the question I had? I don't remember what it was. Yeah, okay. A wah recommendation. I would definitely go with the John Petrucci wah. It's a really good one, I must say. I like it a lot. Hey Ola, do you know why explorer-shaped 7 strings are so rare? Any ideas? Um, I think it's because uh, okay, I'm not sure. Something happened. Let's just reload the page. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so do you know why explorer-shaped 7 strings are so rare? Any ideas? I think it's because usually explorers are 24.75-inch scale length, and I mean, when you have a 7 string, you kind of want to go from 25 and a half or longer with the scale length. And the problem is with that is that basically a lot of the explorers that I've tried, there are 7 strings, are usually very neck heavy, and that's a problem for sure. So that might be it. I don't know. Kyle Carrick is asking, what are some of your favorite mellow death bands right now that a lot of people may not have heard of that you think we should check out? Um, I'm not really listening to a lot of mellow death metal, if to be completely honest. It's I like the brutal old style '90s death metal, and it's I'm kind of stuck there, so I can't really give any tips. Sorry. Feel free to skip any stupid questions, Ola. Ricardo is saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now? And sorry, I should be a lot happier. I'm probably a 10 right now. Thank you so much. I'm not just showing it. It's just a weird forum like this. I'm just sitting, talking to myself, and talking to text, which is kind of weird. I much more prefer doing it in public. I mean, at workshops and stuff like that, and getting a connection with the viewer and stuff like that. Genspace. Did you happen to be standing side stage for At the Gates last year at Copenhagen? Yes, I did. Cool, huh? Uh, yes. Brian or Bryn Auger is asking, what are your biggest musical inspirations? Um, Pantera and Dimebag. That's it. It's a no-brainer. Is fuck. I'm not sure if I'm still alive or anything. I should ask. Hang on. Okay, I am still alive. All right, so technical difficulties on my end. I'm seeing myself being completely still in the picture. Okay. James Glass is saying, I've talked to a few other widely known musicians, and they've told me that they wouldn't be touring and such if they had a family. How do you balance between your music and family? Well, the good thing is that the Haunted is almost not touring at all. I mean, whenever we do tours, it's basically like longer weekends or like 1 week at the most. And I mean, so I'm not really away from my family that much. And when I am at home, working at home, I get to be so much more with my family, with uh, the way I'm living right now than when I had a desk job. So I'm spending a lot more time with my family when I'm home. So all in all, it's a good balance for me. And then when I grow sick of them, I just go on tour, and that's it. I probably shouldn't have said that, but no. Okay. Masiek Piccola is asking, cheers dude, question from me, any tips for a band trying to start a career? And well, the problem today, I would say, is that a lot of the problem today is that there are a lot of bands out there. I mean, really good bands, and everyone's fighting for the same audience and same space. And I mean, the obvious things that you need to do is just to be on Facebook and social medias in general. I mean, YouTube is a good way to just uh, catch a little bit of people's interest by playing your music. Or I mean, it's always more interested to see a video rather than just clicking on a file to hear some music. But I think if you want to really like, if you really want to make it quick, I think you need to do something new. Either if it's on YouTube or if it's your music or whatever. I mean, it's there's just too much of the shitty metal that I play out there. Okay, good talk. Ben B is asking, what do you think of the Axe effects for live and recording? Heard somewhere that you replaced the Satan with it. Is that true? If so, why? I don't know where you heard that, but no. The Axe effects is not replacing anything in my setup other than I've started to do like a 4-cable method thing now, where I'm using the Axe effects with my Satan and my cabinet for to use the effects of the XFX basically. So I'm using like a gate in front of the amp, and then the single chain goes into the amp, out to the effects loop where I have delay and stuff like that, and then I can switch everything with MIDI. So for that, it's awesome. And the only problem is that I still think that the XFX is kind of big, and I mean, I'm not really using that many effects, so just bringing along like a delay pedal is usually what I'm playing through when I'm out touring. It's basically just a Satan and delay pedal in the loop, and that's it. So I mean, yeah, I started to try out the XFX for live use and the 4-cable method, but it's just for the effects basically. Soul Rockers is asking, have you ever had the chance to check out any Aristides guitars? I'd love to hear what you think of them. And I actually have a couple of demos on my YouTube channel, so you should go check them out. And they're great playing guitars, that's for sure. Måns Peltonen is asking, any updates on the Solar project? Are you doing that album anytime soon? And is it going to be entirely instrumental? I do have material for a full album. I just need to arrange everything and make sure that it doesn't suck. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's something I'm working on here and there. And I don't really have a schedule or anything around that. So we'll see what happens. Probably next year. Kypris is asking, hey dude, what are some of your less obvious influences? And I would probably say a lot of singer-songwriters. There's a guy called Chris Stills, which is Stephen Stills' son, and he's a singer-songwriter. There's another one called Tim Christensen. He's really famous in Denmark. He's amazing, and yeah, it's stuff like that. I'm obviously a lot of progressive metal stuff, you know, like Symphony X and old stuff like that. Not that Symphony X is old, but you get the idea. Trey Sense, hey Ola, do you praise the sun? No, I praise myself and my wife. Bert Freshall is asking, do you speak any other languages? Ja, ich spreche Deutsch. Fuck. Well, that's it basically. I actually I read German in school for 3 years, but I had 50% absence. So it's not really that good. And I read Spanish for 2 years, so it's Swedish, English, a little bit of German, a little bit of Spanish. Okay. Okay, smoke. Cool. Nick Wayland is asking, how do you earn a living from YouTube? Is it more important to focus on what's fun for you, or is it good to have a plan and stick to it? Just to be clear, the YouTube the money I make of YouTube is a very, very small portion of what I make, and I mean, it's basically actually, it's not a lot of money at all. I mean, I would not be able to live out of YouTube, that's for sure. Um, so I mean, I think it's important to have many different income streams, not just YouTube. I mean, I'm doing the workshops. Sometimes I'm reamping. I'm mixing bands. I'm out with the Haunted. I'm doing the Feared thing. You know, I'm keeping a lot of income streams going. So with everything and going and all that, I'm able to make a living out of what I do. But you have to be smart about it, and you can't really just focus on one thing. You have to. I mean, it's the music business is kind of weird today, so you really need to kind of go dig in different holes, I would say. Henry Kiev is asking, how is it like working with Kevin Talley? And I love Kevin Talley, but the good thing about him is that when I send him Feared stuff, he usually puts his own spin on the songs. Even if I already made the drums for the song, he will redo the drums totally. The good thing about it is that most of the time it's pretty cool, but the other times it's like I totally hate it. So I mean, I have to work with him a bit, and I mean, we have a really good working ethic and relationship going, and yeah, he's awesome. I love Kevin. Gregor Fisk is asking, I saw you at the Gorgat show. What did you think about it and their new EP? Well, I'm a big fan of Gorguts since back like Obscura and stuff like that. I listened to that album a lot, and when I was in like the cryptasy Canadian death metal era, and I mean, Gorguts are awesome. I mean, they were probably 10, 15 years before anyone else with the chaotic death metal thing, and I mean, they're finally getting like the recognition they deserve. And I'm actually a good friend with Luke LeMay, the singer now. He saw my videos on YouTube and like a couple of years back, and now we started to talk a lot. And I mean, he's an awesome guy, and he loves like showing me his new guitars and stuff like that. So I love him, and I love Gorguts. So Josh Hill probably asked something stupid, but I wonder what it was that made him banned for 300 seconds. Okay. Leonardo Santos is asking, Ola, is there any plans or contact that intend bringing you to some workshops here in Brazil? Dude, I was in Brazil and I did 3 workshops this past November in Rio, in Brasilia, and Sao Paulo. So where were you? I was there. So it probably won't happen anytime soon. Sorry. Mencias is asking, what do you use for reamping and what do you recommend? I'm using a, let's see if this is plugged in. Oh fuck, it's plugged in. But I'm using this. You probably can't see it because that's how far my cables go, but it's a Torpedo Reload, which is a really good device for reamping. It's basically a DI box, reamping box, and a power attenuator. And it's really awesome. I really, really recommend that. From 2 Notes. Reload. Got it. Okay, what do you think about standard tuning for playing metal? Why not? Go ahead. Shit. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Regarding the same topic, which IRs should you recommend, or could you recommend, or which ones do you like the most? Red Wires, Own Hammer, Single Tail, or God's Cabs? Actually, I don't have that much experience with with buying impulses. Actually, I try to make my own a lot, but I do own some from Redwires. That's something I recognize. So, and I think they're very extensive. I mean, there's just a lot of impulses. I think so. Yeah, the Redwires. To be honest, I don't remember if they're good or not. They're probably good. I don't know. Stefan Mitrick is asking, hey Brola, which pickups do you consider to be your favorite ones, and which ones would you recommend in terms of versatility? Sorry. Right now, and since like the past 4 years, I've been playing the Seymour Duncan Custom 5 Alnico for a bridge pickup, and for the Washburn, the Solar range. We made something different called the Duncan Solar, which are totally exclusive for the Washburn Solar guitars. And they're basically a custom 5 Alnico with a little bit of a tweak into it. And the neck pickup of the Duncan Solar is a 59, basically. And they sound amazing. What I like about the Alnico pickup is that it's this is medium output, so you can get really dynamic, and I mean, going from cleans to like super chuggy if you want. But you don't, since they're Alnico, you don't really get that high-end sizzle, which is kind of annoying. Another favorite pickup is the Duncan Distortion, for sure. That's like a classic that you can't go wrong with. Okay. Hey, Ola, can you make a video about Boss heavy metal 2 pedal and its influence on death metal? I mean, there's so many videos out there. I mean, I don't really have to make one. There's a lot of them. Just search on YouTube. It's right there. Search bar. Go there. Boss HM2. Ben B is asking, hey Ola, do you have any tips on writing riffs, songs? I feel like I usually get stuck fairly easily and have a hard time expanding on the riff to finish a song. Thank you. Okay, so I can't really show it here, or can I? Hang on. I'm going to hack this video stream. Okay, look at this. Now you can see all my secret files and shit, but something I have here on my computer is a riff and idea folder. And let's just do like this. Oh, come on, you piece of shit. There it is. Okay. So let's see how that looks. What that looks like. Okay. Good. So I have a folder here where I have subfolders with just riffs upon riffs upon riffs that I recorded. Here's a chorus, here's a haunted idea that I made, and blah blah blah. I just have a lot of riffs. Here's full songs and shit like that. I mean, I have like a really large archive with riffs, like could be from 5 years back, and I mean sometimes I just sometimes when I'm recording a song and trying to make a song, I just riff out, you know, and even if the riff that I'm currently writing doesn't really fit, I still save that and see if I can use it for whatever else song I'm using or doing. And another thing that I'm doing is that I write in a big Logic project. So, I mean, it's like a 2-hour worth of time where I have different songs. So I can work in between the songs quickly. I can jump around in between the songs, and you know, it's easy to just arrange. And so I mean, that's kind of how I like to write my songs. But I mean, some songs just makes themselves for like half an hour. It takes half an hour to make them, and some of the songs you just have to cut and paste and shit like that. And usually the ones that you write in 30 minutes are the best ones. Okay. Knut Dahl is asking, do you change strings and other maintenance to your guitars or send them to a tech? I do have a friend he does all my soldering, but other than that, I'm changing all my strings, setting up the guitars myself. I mean, it's hard to teach someone else exactly how you want your guitar to be set up. So yeah, good. Have you heard the new Catatoni album? No, I have not. Pablo Schab is asking, have you got times in past or present of your career that you feel uninspired either to compose or play guitar? If so, how do you return your motivation and find passion and enthusiasm again? Something that I do when I'm kind of in a rut and can't feel that like writing is going to shit and nothing's really working, or I'm just in a bad place. I just play video games. To get me back on track. And I just recently played Dying Light again. But other than that, I'm not playing any games right now. I probably want to play Uncharted pretty soon. Okay. Josh Hill. Ola, what's your favorite gram? 5 gram. Nakaharu Dezu is saying, hey Ola, do you have any tips for picking higher strings while on distortion, especially after strumming the lower strings? How to make it sound clear and noticeable? I think that's a pickup question, actually. I mean, there's different pickups are clearer for like strumming chords in distortion. So, I mean, you should probably look into getting some other type of pickups if you have a problem with that. Wisham Gailey is asking Ibanez or Jackson, and I would definitely go with Ibanez. I mean, I've been playing Ibanez a lot back in the day, and I still have I recently acquired my Ibanez Universe, the white one, my PVH original from '90. So I'm a big Ibanez fan. Trevor Slater is asking, I have dealt with arthritis from a pretty young age. Do you have any exercises you do to loosen up that you might recommend? Thanks. Well, I don't get the problem with my arm because I don't really shred a lot. So stop shredding, son of a bitch. That's a terrible suggestion. Sorry. I don't really have any warm-up exercise. I just play... whenever I'm in before a show, I need to warm up. I just play alternate picking up and down all over the place just to get my synchronization going between my hands. So I can't really help you there. Sorry. Gino 103196, opinions on Kiesel guitars. I've only tried, I think, one Kiesel guitar, and that was a really good guitar. So that's all I can say about it. Emil Celine is asking, do you have a dog? And we did have a dog that we had to put to sleep a couple of years back because it had a heart condition, unfortunately, and he was 4 years old, and it was probably like the worst time in my life taking that decision. Okay, let's go. Shit, I mean, these questions kind of just jump around. It's like, it's hard to even keep track. Joel Garcia is asking, hey Ola, how often do you practice? Basically never. I mean, I'm working so much around everything. It's impossible for me to practice. So the only time I have time to practice are before workshops, when I'm warming up, or before shows, or when I'm recording songs. But that's not me practicing. It's me just playing whatever needs to be played. So I would definitely like to have more time to practice, but that's not a time is not something I have. Okay, Thomas is asking, how is the music scene in Stockholm? I have no idea because I've not been out there for for a good while. I haven't played in Stockholm. I mean, as a smaller band, I haven't played in Stockholm for a good 10 years, so I have no idea. Masiek Piccola is asking, another question from me, why did you change guitar from 7 string to 6 string on Feared album Cinder? And I'll tell you why. It's because I changed my opinion about everything from here and there. I mean, both Winter and Fury Incarnatus are kind of low tuned. They're basically drop A, and I mean really low. For Cinder, I wanted to sound a bit different. I wanted to be a little bit more tuned up, so that's the reason. Who knows? Next album will be 7 string again. Are you a fan, or have you been influenced by Terence Hobbs? Terence Hobbs is the guitar player for Suffocation, which the band that Kevin plays drums. And I'm a big fan of Suffocation, but can't really say that Terence Hobbs is a big influence on me. He's a really cool guy, though. Okay. Are you 420 friendly? I don't smoke, but I have tried it for a couple of times. Didn't really do me good. Eric Fedorshak is asking, "Hello, Ola, what's your first guitar?" And you can actually, if you check on my olaenglund.com, you can see my guitar card there. You will see my first guitar there. I think it was a. I have to check if it was like a Vantage or something shit like that. Okay. Guitars. I'm currently browsing my own website to find out what was my Vantage Avenger was the guitar, and I got it in '93. I think I actually borrowed it from my big brother. Okay, trippy. Prime and Concrete Sludge. Hey Ola, what's your all-time favorite riff? I don't know. The Cowboys from Hell riff is kind of badass, but I think it's the bridge riff, or like the stick riff of the song "Slaughtered" by Pantera, that goes like to get. It's really cool. I love it a lot. Okay. Uh, Okay, Luis Jesus Flores is asking, "Hey Ola, which amp would you suggest me to use to get a sound like Feared or Keith Merrow type sound? I'm actually using a guitar with a Black Winter in the bridge and an Duncan Distortion in the neck." Oh, there you go. I think, I mean, the sound that Keith Merrow is doing is more like a boosted 5150. I think that he's been using a lot. And I think that's the Kemper profile that he's been using a lot, was the like a profile of the 5150. I mean, if you want to have the feared sound, it's the Satan basically. That's the amp that's been used on all the albums now. So I mean, Yoshil, okay, hey Ola, what would you say is the best method of improving your alternate picking in terms of lead application? I find it difficult and frustrating to get the discipline to build up the speed. Um, well, I know what you're saying, because I mean, it takes a lot of time to get that speed going. My best tip would be to watch some TV or watch some series on Netflix or something like that, and just do something else, but sit with your guitar and just go up and down, up and down, up and down, all those boring alternate picking patterns and shit like that. You can go check them out over at the Rock Discipline by John Petrucci, and just sit down in the in-between times when you're not practicing, when you're watching TV or stuff like that. Just sit and do it in the back of your head, or I mean, it's that'll definitely make you put a lot more hours into it. You should come to London and jam with Sludem sometime. I have no idea what Sludem is, but okay. Mortal Song, what gauge strings do you use for drop A tuning? I'm using 0.64 on my my Solar 7 string. 2 seconds. Whoops. You know what? I think this is a 0.62 actually. Awesome. Yeah, it's a 0.62, and the rest of these are some 9 set to. Shit. I have to check on the box. 9 to 42. So 9 to 42, and then a 62 on the 7th string. But this is a Evertune equipped guitar, and the scale length is 25.5. And this guitar right here is the my main 7th string that I use for workshops and stuff like that. Cool, huh? Okay. In a previous video, I saw you using some really nice studio monitors. Where do I get my hands on those? These studio monitors that I'm using are from a company called Square Root Audio, and they're I think they're located in Estonia. But you should try Google it. Square Root Audio. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Ola, do you watch Rick and Morty? Fuck yeah, I do. Takumi Inamoto is asking, are 7th string back in the upcoming Fear album? We'll see. Joshua Wadlow is asking, Mesa Boogie, Tremo Verb, or EVH 5150. I will go with the Mesa Tremo Verb because I'm a big Mesa fan. Dort Sadoki is asking, which guitar is more metal in your opinion? Jackson, Dinky, or Soloist, or your Washburn? I mean, you're asking the most biased guy ever if my guitar is more or less metal than a Jackson, Dinky, and Soloist. I mean, I think you know my answer. Quick studio tour. Well, the thing is that my webcam is stuck to my computer screen, so I can't really show that much. But maybe some other time. Okay. Trey Sins is asking, I see a Fishman triple play back there on one of the guitars. How did you use it, other than the Pantera that you released a while back ago? I never used it more than for that, actually. I just haven't had the time to try it out for real. I just do the stupid videos and then I just continue on with my life. Pablo Shab is asking, at the time of writing, do you spend time on the overall structure of the song? How do you define that? So you're probably asking if I work a lot on the arrangement of the song. And yes, the arrangement is super important to keep a steady flow of the song. So that's definitely something that can make it or break a song. Neoclassical Guitar 89 is asking, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's kind of the next step in your career, and what are your goals in life now that you have somewhat achieved a lot of the musician's dream? I guess most of us have. Well, right now I'm just trying to stay afloat in a way, and I mean just keep on doing albums because that's what I enjoy doing the most. And who knows? I mean, I might be playing in another band in 5 years. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not even sure I'm doing this in 1 year. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. But the good thing with me is that I have a backup plan. I mean, I can still work as an accountant like I did back in the day before I quit that job to become a musician. Okay, fuck. Okay, this YouTube scrolling thing for questions is awful. You just start scrolling and then everything is back. Like in the start. Whatever. Okay. If I'm missing out on any questions, I'm sorry. It's not intended. It's just the YouTube interface is kind of shitty, I would say. Soul Rockers is asking, is there any piece of gear you really want right now? Is there a piece of gear you've always wanted but you could never get your hands on? I mean, right now I'm not really... No, I probably don't want anything right now. I mean, if there's anything I would want, it's probably... No. I have no idea what I want right now. Maybe I'd like to have some more Washburn Dimebag guitars, like some EOS ones. I have a Dime-free Stealth that I'm very proud about, but I'd love to own some more, but they're super expensive and pretty rare, unfortunately. Okay. Now, Masiek Piccola is asking another question. Washburn Solar 170C, Indonesian made, or would you recommend something else in its price range? And you're asking the guy who designed the guitar if I would recommend something else. Doesn't make sense. Wire Guitarist is asking, are you a big fan of older Ibanez, Gems, and UVs? What do you think of the swirled models? Yes, I mean, the old Gems and UVs, and even the RG 550s and 570s back in the days, they're like really killer player guitars. And you could get them real cheap back in the days. And I mean, they're super awesome. I love them. And I'm super in love with my Ibanez Universe. It's definitely one of my favorite guitars because it's just one of those one of my first 7-strings. I had a RG 7620. That was my first 7-string guitar, but then I got the Universe PVH, and it was just so much more awesome. And yeah, I definitely love the old Ibanez guitars a lot more than the new one, at least. Oh, fuck, now it disappeared again. Infected Solitude. Do you think that the Mark 525, Mesa Boogie Mark 525, can get similar tones to its bigger 90-watt brother? I'm thinking of downsizing to one, but don't want to lose the power that it brings. I mean, well, basically the biggest difference is the power, because that's what 90 versus 25 watts are. I mean, you're not getting the the same dynamics. I mean, you're not getting the same type of overhead. What the fuck do you call it? Got it on the tip of my tongue. Uh, Fuck it. There's a good word for it, but I don't really remember it in English. But I mean, the dynamic range is just way bigger with 90 watts. But with that said, the 25 watt version is excellent. I love that one. And I mean, it's awesome. Eric Fedorchak is asking, which guitarist, alive or dead, would you love to jam with? Well, obviously, Dimebag. It's not a question about that. Lauren Brender is asking, how much would you have loved to work with Nick if you were able to? I mean, he, like I said on my Facebook, I actually got a request like 2 years ago from Nick Mensa, who passed away today, unfortunately. But he was starting a project, and he actually wanted me in as like a songwriter and rhythm guitar player, and I was just super honored, super stoked, and super happy. The only problem was that I had so much stuff happening at the time, and also me and my wife were expecting our second child. So I mean, it would have been impossible to me to join another project. Um, so I mean, even with that, I was just super honored that he asked me. I would love to play with him, of course. I mean, that would be an honor, but it didn't happen, and now it will most definitely never happen, which is kind of sad. But I'm really happy he considered me. I mean, at all. Really honored. Okay. Ugh, fucking comments again. Have you ever played Mayonnaise guitars? Yes, I have, and they're good. Um, Kai Durkin is asking, hey Olaf, thoughts on Gojira? That they're fucking on top of their game. They're one of the better metal bands today, I think. And if you have the chance to check them out live, definitely go out and catch them live because they're amazing. Trey Sins is asking, any plans for a lunchbox Satan? My lips are sealed. Hi, Allah, just got here. Where can I get the Washburn Parallax Solar 160 left-handed in the UK? I cannot find one anywhere, and Google hasn't thrown anything up. My friend, stupid username 38. That's a good username, by the way. Google Sound Technology, or go to GAC or any of your favorite, like any favorite store, and just ask him to bring in a left-handed 160, because they have sold a bunch of them in the UK. I know that. So just go to your favorite dealer and ask for it, and they'll bring it in. Okay. Headspace, Joshua Wallow. Thank you so much. That was the term I was seeking. Headroom. It was the headroom. Headspace and headroom. There you got it. Thank you. Um, okay. Beta is saying, hey Ola, I have a Forden amp that is pretty awesome amp. Awesome. By the way, how do you meet Mike Forden? And I want Fear to come to Japan. Um, I actually met Mike Forden um, to I actually tried one of his amps over at the Meshuggah studio. I did a video of the Forden Natos, and I loved it so much that I got in contact with Mike to buy my own amp, and that's how we started to design the Forden Satan, and the rest is history. Wow, we've been sitting here for 1 hour. I'm getting kind of sweaty. Who do I send my music to? To me, I guess. What do you mean? All right. Okay, I'll grab one or two more questions. Then I'm gonna end this. I'm hearing that my son is kind of waiting outside my room right here. He's going to bed soon, so I need to say goodnight and shit like that. Okay. The most influential non-metal album for you. That's hard to say. I mean, I would probably say that Radiohead and Rainbows, actually. I mean, I loved all the earlier Radiohead albums, but In Rainbows was just a really good album for me. But it's hard to say if I really got influenced by that album. But yeah, that's a good album. Will you be getting periphery free? Okay, I probably will. All right, I need to update this. Okay. All right. Okay. More questions. The thing is that my YouTube window stops to refresh, so I'm not getting any new questions. I'm just getting the old ones, and I think there's yeah. So I have to refresh the window, and I get a bunch of new questions. Okay, thank you. Hey Ola, are the pre-orders for Reborn still available? Yes, they are, and I mean, you can still buy them after the album has been released, but I'm not sure all the editions will be available after the release. But if you want one before, like a bundle or the Ultimate Bundle or Guitarist Bundle before release, I would probably recommend that you place an order in the coming 3 days, maybe. Okay. Infected Solitude is asking best way to ship amps internationally without damaging tubes. Take out the tubes, put them in bubble wrap, one by one, put them back into the head of the amp. Is there any way for us to team up together and get Buckethead to not release an album every 4 minutes? I mean, are the albums good? I have no idea. I would say if the albums are good, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a problem that he's releasing every 4 minutes. Damon Armstrong is asking, this is the last question, guys. As a fellow Washburn user, what's your opinion on Nuno? Nuno is one of the, he's an amazing guitar player and one of the, best lick writers, I would say. I mean, he has a lot of good licks going, and I mean, I met him for the first time at this jam, actually, and I was super fanboying all over his face. But I mean, I have no idea I mean, he's playing guitar for Rihanna right now, so I'm not sure he's doing anything new. But I mean, all the old stuff with Extreme and stuff like that, it's really good. I really love that stuff. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna end this right here. I would like to thank Wired Guitarist for letting me do this. It's been great. And be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel to check out some other cool live streams that are coming up. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook, of course. So awkward. So I'm gonna stop the stream right here. I'm sweating. It's been tough, guys. It's worse than a gig. All right. Okay. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and take care.